Whoa. Okay, let's go. How I mess up with my negatives. So in this video we are going through why I shoot film and how many, what camera and film stock I use, and how I mess up with my negatives. So if you are interested, then stay tuned. Let's go. Welcome back to another video. So first of all, we are going through why I shoot film and how many rolls per year. Secondly, what camera and film stock I use. And third and last but not least, the most important part is how I scan my negatives and how I mess up with them in Lightroom. So let's go. Okay, so why do I still shoot film in 2026? And I think this is a sentimental thing because my mother shoot my whole youth in the 80s and 90s on this Nikon FT2 and a 50mm Nikon f2 lens. And when she was gone, I get all her photos, and these were thousands of printed photos which were shot with this camera, and I think this is why I still shoot so much film in 2026. Yeah, and if you watched some of my videos from beginning of this year, you might have noticed I shoot around 50 rolls per year. That makes around 1 roll per week. But it is always an on-off relationship because I have times where I really don't shoot any film. But I have also times where I shoot maybe 2, 3 or 4 or 5 rolls per week. So it's always on off with this relationship with film. Okay, so next point, what cameras and what film do I use to shoot film? In this video, all the photos you will see are shot with this Kodak Snappic A1 camera, but I have another camera, and this is a Nikon FM2N with a 28mm 2.8 Nikon lens Series E. And yeah, these are the cameras I shoot the most because the cameras I got from my mother and also from my father are both broken. So I purchased a new camera, and this is the Nikon FM2N, which I purchased last year and exclusively shoot since then, besides the Kodak Snappic A1. And what film do I use? I use always the Aqua RPX 400 film because this film is really cheap for me to get, and it is also easy accessible for me because I can buy this at Rossmann because it is a local drugstore. Yes, I think so. In Germany it is Drogeriemarkt. So I get them there for around 7.50 per roll, I think. And I always get a 10% discount with the app from Rossmann. If you use the app, you can get always 10%, not always, but you have a few coupons where you can use this 10%. So it is fairly cheap and easy to get for me. So this is why I shoot APX 400. And I develop and scan all my rolls by myself here at home. So it is also really cheap for me to get it developed and scan the rolls and negatives, because it only takes a lot of time to do this, but because I really enjoy the process and the scanning, it is no problem for me to do so. Okay, so and the last point is how I scan and edit my negatives. So first of all, I scan everything with this PlusTech optic film 7400 scanner, and I really like this scanner, and I really like the files that comes out of this scanner, but there is one downside, and this is the speed of the scanner, and the speed is really ridiculous slow. So a roll of film takes around 1 hour to scan, and yeah, this is really slow, but yeah, I like it. So okay, and now let's get into Lightroom, and I will show you how I mess up with my negatives. Let's go. Okay, so now we are in Lightroom, and this here is the original scan from my PlusTech optic film 7400, a very flat looking image, but you can make a lot out of this. So let's see how I edit the photo, and this is my edited version, how I like to look my photos. And let's see what I have done to the image. As you can see here, I pushed the contrast to 83, I pushed the lights to 41, and I pushed the whites to 59 and the blacks to 61. And I also, in this curve, I pushed the curve towards the black side here, so it gets even more darker. And I pushed the clarity to 47 and the dust or the haze to +20, and that's all I did here. So it's really not special, just push the whites, push the blacks, and yeah, push the contrast, and you get a really high contrast looking photo. But I also did one thing, and that is I added a mask. Here you can see it in red. I add a mask around my subject, and this is here my sun in the water. And I subtracted my subject, so the mask will not affect on my subject itself. And then I pushed the exposure a little bit, so the background gets a little bit brighter and the subject stays dark. Alright, and that's how I edit all of my photos. Just the basic things I did here in this photo, and that's how I do it on all of my photos, no matter if it is an analog or a digital file. I can apply this method to all of my photos, and maybe you have learned something out of this and maybe apply it also to your own photos. Feel free, and I hope I could help you a little bit with this insight in my editing workflow. Okay, so that's it for today's video. If you watched until the end, then please let me know in the comments down below if you also still shooting film and if you are also messing up with your files. Please let me down below, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I see you in the next one. Until then, auf Wiedersehen. Peace.